Good evening. This is the Dania Beach City Commission regular meeting. It is Tuesday, March 12th, 2019 at 7 p.m. Can you please call the roll?
Mayor Llewellyn.
Here.
Vice Mayor Odmond.
Here.
Commissioner Brandemart.
Here.
Commissioner Harris.
Here.
Commissioner James.
Here.
Assistant City Manager Donnelly.
Here.
City Attorney Ansborough.
Here.
Thank you.
Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? And will you all join me for a moment of silence, please? Thank you. Good evening. Before we get started here, I wanted to, first of all, welcome everybody tonight to our meeting. I know we have some new faces here tonight, and we have some dignitaries that have also joined us from a number of cities. I just want to mention a few people who I know have come here or are on their way here, possibly. Judge Alberto Milian of the 11th Judicial Court of Florida, former Assistant State Attorney for Broward County, and a veteran Bronze Star recipient and a former captain of the U.S. Army. Thank you, sir. Anthony DiFilippo, Mayor of North Miami Beach. George Vallejo, former Mayor of North Miami Beach. Marlene Martell, former Commissioner of North Miami Beach. Rhonda Rodriguez, Mayor of West Miami, may not be here yet. Roxana Ross, former Mayor of Biscayne Park. Bob Anderson, former Commissioner of Biscayne Park. Julio Robana, former State Representative and former Mayor of South Miami. Yolanda Aguilar, City Manager of West Miami. Yossi Galliano, City Manager of Pinecrest. Russell Benford, former Deputy Mayor of Miami-Dade County and Dania resident. Dan Samaria, Commissioner of Biscayne Park. Greg Chavaria, Interim City Manager, Hallandale Beach. Kevin Prescott, Deputy Chief of Police for North Miami Beach. And I apologize if I missed anybody. Is there anybody else here that I did miss? From another city? From anywhere? Okay. All right. All right. Our first item on the agenda tonight under presentations and special event approvals is the administration of oath to City Manager Anna M. Garcia. And I'm going to ask the commission to come down in front of the dais as well.
We should move that podium. Do you think we need the podium?
I'm honored to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Well, before I swear in Anna, I'm going to ask for a point of privilege just to make some comments because I think it's one of those high points in South Florida history. We came very far to be here today, specifically 90 miles off the coast of Key West in Havana, Cuba. And that tells you a lot about the story of this great country. This is why we're all Americans. Besides all the illustrious guests that are here today, we have a special group of friends who know Anna since high school, going back 44 years. That's 44 years, ladies and gentlemen. We have Joyce Cricky, one of our great friends, distinguished gynecologist. We have Julio Roaina, played football with me many years ago when I and another football player hung him from the lockers. And we've remained friends despite that over the years. Distinguished representative and mayor of South Miami. And this group of four friends embody the greatness of the opportunity of our country. Anna, there was a lot of people mentioned here from a lot of other cities, from a lot of other places. That's a testament to how many lives you've touched, how many friends you've made, what a difference you've made in all these lives. And all by a little Cuban girl who, like all of us, came here as refugees, seeking a better life, freedom, and opportunity. We are no longer citizens of West Miami, South Miami, or Aventura, where I hail from, or North Miami, where I go to frequently. We're all citizens of this great country. And wherever we go, wherever we stand for the red, white, and blue. You have made us very proud. You've honored your family. You've honored your friends. You've honored your community. I frequently come through Dania Beach. I bicycle for exercise. Now I must do it more frequently to honor you and this great city, which represents some of the greatest traditions of our community. I am honored to come here, and if you had to battle traffic coming up from downtown Miami, you know that I really cared to be here today. So thank you all, and Anna, thank you from your friends and your community. You've made us proud once again. Now forgive me for turning my back to you. That's not good manners, but I would like you to see Anna. Anna, raise your right hand, please. And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Anna Garcia,
A citizen of the state of Florida
a citizen of the state of Florida
and of the United States of America,
and of the United States of America,
and being employed by the city of Dania Beach
and being employed by the great city of Dania Beach,
of the state of Florida,
of the state of Florida,
and a recipient of public funds
and a recipient of public funds
as such employee,
as such employee,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support the constitutions
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and of the great state of Florida.
and of the great state of Florida.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Anna. Victory. Thank you again. Thank you so very much. Thank you for the honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow. I sat today on the kitchen table and I wanted to write something down. And I tried so many times and I was just looking at a blank page and I just decided, like I always do, to ask God to be able to guide me so I can convey to you exactly how I'm feeling today. It is an extreme honor for me and a privilege to be the next city manager of the great city of Dania Beach. I couldn't be more grateful, I couldn't be more humble, and I couldn't be more excited. I actually had to play some relaxation and sleeping music throughout the day just so I could just calm myself, because that's how excited I was to be able to come and serve you and be here tonight. I wouldn't be here tonight, first and foremost, to God be the glory, because His will brought me here. And these amazing group of elected officials that I connected with each and every one of them. Chemistry is extremely important to me. And the more I came to Dania Beach, the more I met new people. As a matter of fact, this past weekend, I was here at Dania After Dark, and a resident came up to me and said, "Is it okay if I hug you?" And I said, "I'm in the right place." I'm in the right place because I am that person that will be out and about, hugging you, shaking your hands, listening to your concerns, and ensuring that the day that I leave Dania Beach, I will leave it in a much better condition than I found it. Very important to me what I do. What I do is not just a job, it's a calling and a mission. And there's several managers that are here today. And let me tell you, this is not for the weak or for the faint. You have to love it. You have to know that it's not just a job, but it's an adventure and it's a mission. When I met these individuals, I knew that I was at the right place, at the right time, And I'm grateful to the doors that closed, and I'm grateful to the ones that didn't open. Because sometimes in life, those closed doors and those that don't open are the ones that lead you to where you belong. And I belong here in Dania Beach at this time with this amazing group of elected officials. Thank you. I wanted to take the time to thank some amazing people, everybody here on this row, my tremendous family, my mom, my sister, my niece, my nephew, my daughter-in-law, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my other niece, all my friends that are here. But there's one individual that shares my home, and we've been together for 21 and a half years. And only your significant other, the significant other of a city manager, knows everything that we go through. And I wouldn't have been able to have made it to this point in my life without her support. So I just wanted to take the time to thank you, Gisela, for everything that you do for me. So when you get a manager, you get my entire family, you get my friends. These are the people that are going to come, and they're going to eat at the restaurants, and they're going to be supporting the chamber and supporting this city. This city now has a very special place in my heart, and I'm extremely excited. I start tomorrow, but I feel like I started a month ago, because we've been hanging out. I've been hanging out with all these amazing people, and I truly admire them. And words really are insufficient. So tomorrow, I'll get right into action, because that's what I'm all about. Getting things done, connecting with my people, connecting with my team, with my staff. I love everybody that's here today. So many of you guys go back to when I was a teenager. A teenager. That's a long time ago. Long time. You're talking, you know, Dr. Miller, circa 1972. So I'll just say that. So I can't wait to begin to meet all of my employees. I've already met you, some of you already. I'm super excited about this tremendous opportunity. And there but for the grace of God go I, and tomorrow is a new day in the city of Dania Beach. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart that you will have the best of me. Because if I was Anna 6.0 last year, my goal is to become the best version of myself and the best version of the city manager. Not a virgin, I'm sorry. I'm so thirsty and excited. But you're going to get, if there's a 9.0 version of me, that's what I'm going to strive to give you each and every day. So thank you. I'm honored. I'm extremely blessed, overjoyed, and extremely humbled. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, how do you top that? You don't. And in all honesty, I am going to be very brief. This is for Anna. This is Anna's evening. This has nothing to do with me or anybody else here. But I did want to say thank you to Anna for joining us. Thank you for applying. Thank you for coming here and spending time. And she really has been spending time in the city, and she's been trying to meet people and meet residents and meet the people that are going to be working for her, and getting to know all of us, as much as she can without actually being here yet. So we're looking forward to it. I think that I kind of felt very early on that she was the right person for this job. The level of enthusiasm, it just comes off of her. I'm sure you can see that tonight. And that's something that we really need in this city. We need someone with a vision. We need somebody who has a vision similar to ours, who wants to move this city forward, but also understands that we do have a history here that needs to be preserved. And we've talked a lot about this. So she does understand the issues that we have going on in the city, and she's going to learn more about them. And she's already told me she's open door policy. So anytime you want to come and call her, she's going to be handing out her business card, so I'm sure she'll be having you call her if you need to call her. But in any event, I just wanted to say thank you again. Thank you, Judge, also for taking the time to come here. I greatly appreciate that. I fought Miami traffic myself today, and it was not fun. You know, we want to welcome you, Anna, and we have high expectations, and I feel comfortable that you're going to meet them. So thank you very much. And I'd like to turn this over to any of the other commissioners. Vice Mayor, did you want to say something?
I'm going to be real quick. Anna, I am so glad we chose you. There were so many reasons that we chose Anna. There's so many reasons why I chose Anna. And I feel so sure that I made the right decision tonight. I felt it before, but seeing Gisela, seeing your mother, seeing all these people that you have impacted so profoundly, I just feel even more sure and even more confident in that decision and in that choice. You were chosen for your commitment to integrity. You were chosen for your commitment to excellence and to constantly raise the bar on yourself and therefore others. And I'm so excited for everything that's going to happen and for all the headaches and all the laughter. I'm realistic. And I'm excited for what Dania Beach 2.0 and 3.0 looks like. And I'm already filled with so much gratitude that you are here with us, and welcome home. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. That's my opening line. Thank you all for coming. It's very reassuring. I'm humbled and I'm honored that you all are here. And I know when we first met Anna several months ago, that when we first met at the Starbucks over a latte, that she was the right person and she's going to take us to the next level. And everybody who's in government and knows what this woman can do is a testimony of all of you that are here tonight. I also send regards from the Fort Lauderdale City Commission, who I was with last night in Washington, D.C., specifically Chris Lagerblum, the city manager of Fort Lauderdale, who sends his regards. But I welcome you. I can't wait to work with you. If we could, we'll probably start working tonight after the meeting. But it's a long ride home, and I understand that. But welcome, welcome, welcome. I can't wait to have you join us.
I know. It's all about the you. Sorry, that's how I start mine. Now, I'm not sure if this is a swearing-in ceremony or if this is are you going to campaign for the presidency in 2020? Because I need friends like your friends in high places and that have served so many places that are currently serving. Former mayors, former commissioners, current mayors, current commissioners, police chiefs, family, friends. It tells quite a tale of the support that you've gained over the years. And I look forward to working with you. I am going to be the one that's probably emailing you every day, reminding you about things that are on our to-do list. But I definitely am ready to take this city, continue to take this city the way we've been taking it. Into another place. And so I thank you all for coming out, even a lot of the staff that's come out, and just look at this place. This is the love that you have. You're welcome to come to all of our commission meetings, not just this one. But seriously, you guys could have been a million other places. I know how it is to be, an elected official, a public servant. And so thank you for being here and sharing this special moment with Anna.
I just wanted to recognize, we had another mayor that just joined us, Mayor Cobillo from El Portal, in the back. All right. Yes, we need to do pictures. So next thing we're supposed to do is pictures. We have Jessica and Katia both. Yeah. Moving along.
You're gonna get the podium.
Now can we start?
Thank you all for coming. You're welcome to stay. Okay, next item on our agenda is the presentation of Artist Spotlight by J.D. Lewis, requested by Commissioner James.
I'll wait until they leave.
Sure.
Bye. Drive safe.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming. Half of them.
Very nice to meet you.
Bye.
Thank you, Judge.
Wait, don't leave. No. Wait, come back. We should have put Anna last.
Yeah.
Everyone would have still been here.
Hi. I'm very happy to meet you.
Hi there. How are you? Nice meeting you.
I am. Watch. Guarantee you, honey. Do you know what? I wish Mac would give up that house. You know, I had to talk to Debbie, to him. You know darn well it's full on the walls now of historic stuff.
Maybe should we close the doors?
Yeah.
Make it a little quieter?
I agree with you. Because they're all going to stand out there, have coffee and talk, and this is our meeting,
It's going to be loud, that's all.
right? They're all going to stand out there and talk.
If you're in the atrium and you want to be a part of the meeting, if you could come on the inside of the doors, we're going to close the doors to allow the reception to continue on the outside.
Where's the guy?
Okay, Commissioner James?
Yes.
I think we're pretty good now.
All right. Next on the agenda is the presentation of the Artist Spotlight. I asked for this artist to be included on this agenda because not only was his art displayed here in our atrium that was coordinated by Henriette with the CAC, but he drew a portrait of me, or he painted a portrait of myself that I purchased. And so me just shining the spotlight on JD Lewis, who's a very talented artist. He's a local artist, and his art was displayed here, is to just get some recognition and some publicity in hopes that we really start featuring some of our art here so that we can get into the habit of purchasing our art here or just celebrating the amazing work that they do. So I'd like to call Mr. J.D. Lewis up, and let's give him a round of applause on such an amazing job. We're going to come down and take a picture with you. But he did such an amazing job. If anyone knows me and my personality, that's it. And I think he nailed it. And I just want to say thank you and continue to do great things. Can we come down for a picture? No, you don't want to come? I'll go.
Next item is special event request from Marine Industries Association of South Florida for their 23rd annual Plywood Regatta to be held on April 6th and 7th, 2019 at the north end of the marina from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. on Saturday and from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. The applicant is requesting waiver of parking fees for volunteers.
No issues, Mayor.
Move the item.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Next item is a proclamation that I requested for Women's History Month. As some of you, I think most of you know, this month is Women's History Month, and I wanted to make sure, in the tradition of past years where we have done proclamations for women's history, that we have another proclamation and include our elected officials, past and present, in the proclamation to talk about the people who have influenced the community. So with that, whereas American women have led movements for social and economic justice, made groundbreaking scientific discoveries, enriched our culture with stunning works of art and literature, and charted bold directions within our foreign policy, and whereas American women of every race, class, and ethnic background served as early leaders in the forefront of every major progressive social change movement, and whereas American women have played and continue to play a critical economic, cultural, and social role in every sphere of the life of the nation by constituting a significant portion of the labor force working inside and outside of the home, and whereas women influential in Dania Beach's history, such as Chickie Brandemarty, Ann Castro, Jean Cook, Pat Fleury, Bobby H. Grace, Tamara James, Lori Llewellyn, and Lauren Odman are just a few of the great women who helped change and balance the voting rights in this great city. And whereas, as a result of the influence of women in politics in the November 2018 election, the city of Dania Beach currently has the first city commission, which is 4/5 majority female. And whereas I heard that. And whereas accounts of the lives of individual women are critically important because they reveal exceptionally strong role models who share a more expansive vision of what a woman can do. And whereas stories of women's lives and the choices they made encourage girls and young women to think larger and bolder and give boys and men a fuller understanding of the female experience, knowing women's achievements, challenges, stereotypes, and upends social assumptions about who women are and what women can accomplish. And whereas this year's theme, Visionary Women, Champions of Peace and Nonviolence, honors women who have led efforts to end war, violence, and injustice and pioneered the use of nonviolence to change society. Now, therefore, on behalf of the Dania Beach City Commission, I, Lori Llewellyn, Mayor of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim March 2019 as Women's History Month. And encourage all residents of Dania Beach to recognize and celebrate the many ways that women's history has become woven into the fabric of our national story. Thank you. We can look now.
Thank you. That was nice.
Okay. Next, we have citizens' comments. Linda Wilson. Please state your name and address, and you'll be limited to 3 minutes.
I'm Linda Wilson. I'm the president of the Friends of the Dania Beach Library, and I'm here tonight representing them. I wanted to just give you a few updates on what we're doing. First, we have a new branch manager. His name is Chris Marhenke, and I hope you get a chance to meet him. I come into the library and meet him, and I'd like to bring him in one night just to say hi. He's from Miramar, and Tim, our former manager, went to Miramar. That's good. So anyway, I left you a few handouts, but I wanted to let you know that we are doing several special events this month. One of them is an adult coloring party, and I invite you all to come. It's fun. It's free, as every program that we do in the library is free to the public. You don't have to be a Dania resident to come to any of our programs. It's all free. Anyone is welcome. On the 23rd, we're having a blowout book and art sale, and it will be right under the eaves outside the library from 10 until 2. And, of course, we will be participating, as usual, in the Art and Seafood Festival. We will have our tent there, and we will be both Wish You Were Here postcard and the mermaid chair for you to be able to take your photos. And I did want to say we've added a lot of new programs this year for adults, yoga, meditation, several yoga classes, adult Zumba. We also have musical babies and Zumbinis for children and their parents to come. And I just want to let you know we are doing a lot of good things, so just to blow our horn. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Wait a minute. Next is Elaine. Oh, go ahead. Commissioner Randamarty?
To tell you, I enjoyed looking at your agenda here, and thank you for the Zumba Gold, because I went to a regular one. I think I'm still on the floor there. However, this Zumba Gold is for people like me over the age of 80, so I love it. Thank you very much.
Oh, just one other thing. I heard you mention something about you didn't always know who the people are coming in the atrium. I want to let you know that we do put out this flyer every month, and I will make sure that you get it emailed to you. This was the one for March. The two on the top are the two that are out there right now along the walls. Len Kaufman, who is an internationally known photographer.
Oh, good.
Those are panoramic photos. They are not paintings. And then
And
also
he was here.
Mark
He was here
Cameron.
for Art in the Hall as well. Yes.
Yes. They're there. They'll be there this month and next month. And next month, you'll see the same flyer. The same artists will be there, but they will be joined by Lou Hernandez, Betsy Alexis, Steve Rockline, and for a musician, Ivan of Acoustic Wine. You will see this.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the next person is Elena Nikolashkina, and I apologize.
Thank you. It's $1 million?
Good evening, everybody.
This is
So it's Elena Nikolashkina, Rhythmic Art, 301 North Brand Road, Dania Beach, 33004. as promised on the last meeting. So I brought you the original invitations for our international competition that is going to happen on May 10 to 12. I will be honored to have you guys if you can, it's the grand opening will be only for an hour, like half an hour. So it's really short, and it would be great if you could come. I know that Lauren already agreed. Thank you so much. It's at 1 p.m. Yes. Yes. That's an opening ceremony of the event where we will have all the teams lined up with the coaches and judges and spectators, and would be very nice to have you guys here because it's happening in our city. Also, I want to thank you for sponsoring my backpacks. The city, Katya, where's Katya?
Katya.
Yes, Katya helped me a lot with that, and I was asking the city to sponsor half of the backpacks that we're going to give away to all the gymnasts that will come with the logo of Dania Beach and the logo of Rhythmic Art. So thank you so much for that, and I really hope that we can work on this event in the future, because this is a big competition that I really want to move forward with. As I've said last time, it's going to be around 400 gymnasts coming, so internationally. So I'm very excited, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just want to quickly endorse that, my son goes here. It's Rhythmic Arts. It's on Bryant Road. It's a fantastic place. They have unbelievable gymnasts doing things that I can't even imagine. And on top of that, they have a spring break camp. They have a summer camp. It's a fantastic place. So if you have kids looking to figure out what to do with them, ship them over there like I send mine. It's a great place. They'll learn how to dance, do a little gym, maybe come out, win an Olympic gold.
I saw that video you posted, too. Yeah, it's cute. Steve Goldberg.
My name is Steve Goldberg.
Address, please.
4010 Southwest 54th Court. I don't know if this is the proper forum, ma'am, but I just want to say thank you for making that phone call for the noise problem that's next to my house through Dania Oaks, but it's continuing. I wanted just to play a sample for a second for you to listen to what we're listening to. I have no idea. Okay. Just to give you a sample, it's at 100 decibels. It's an acre away right now, and it's still banging along. I have 16 neurosurgical offices, spoke to the Department of Health on this. It should be down. I went next door, spoke to them politely to tell them to stop. They said, well, we got a permit, we could do what we want, but the permit is for professionally demoing this building. They're taking their front loaders, they're banging it on the ground. I just went ahead and spent 6 years going into litigation for the sinkhole on my property, just remediated the sinkhole on my property, and the vibration rolling through my property is unbelievable. The sound noise is going crazy. My wife is still convalescing from breast cancer. I can't continue with this. And these folks are going on. They don't live in our community. I do. I participate at the dojo. I eat at Joe's restaurant. I mean, this is something that they need to stop.
Mr. Goldberg, hold on a second. Dennis Mealy, this is the gentleman that I had spoken to you about, who had called me. Mr. Mealy is the attorney for the developer over there.
Yeah.
And he and I actually just spoke right before the meeting tonight as well.
Okay.
And he has a little more information he can probably provide you if you want to step back a minute and let
Sure.
him. Oh, there you go. You can give him a call. There you go. Do that.
Okay, so he's with Greenspan Mortgage?
He's the person you want to speak with.
Okay.
Okay? For those of you who don't know, this has to do with the project over on Southwest 40th, and they've been having some issues with the noise from the construction, and it's the timing of it starting and the volume of it. So it's been, I have. He contacted me, so I.
No, wait a
Go ahead.
minute. Wait. I hear you, but I got a question to ask.
Sure.
Did we respond to any calls over there? Danny?
I'll have to look into that.
Okay, that's all. Thanks a lot, hon. Because I found it strange. We never usually have the person call the commissioner and come here and then sideblind you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's not here, so I'm not sure if he actually contacted the police about it or not. But I do think it's being handled. Gerald Clark? And please state your name and your address, please.
My name is Gerald Clark. I'm at 134 Southwest 5th Court, Dana Beach, by way of 13604 New Acadia Lane, Upper Marlboro, Maryland. I ask that you travel along with me as I will explain to you why I gave those to you. I gave you those illustrations so that you can follow along with me. And I apologize, this may take about 4 minutes, Mayor. I don't get here that often.
Let's keep it to 4.
I'm gonna
It's really
try.
only supposed to be 3, but we'll give you a little extra time.
Well, see, I traveled a long ways to get here for this, okay? My concerns, or the concerns of the individual that lives on 5th Court, is the traffic that comes through there. I've addressed this before, and I got assistance from Department of Public Work, and I got assistance from the police officer here in Dana Beach, where they install the speed signs, the speed humps, the signs that says no through trucks, no left turns. That was back in 2017, early 2017 when that was done. I was here in December, and I went over to check out my place at 134 Southwest 5th Court, and observing several other items over there. The no-through truck signs were towed down. It was ran over. The one that says no left turn is completely missing. And we have tractors and trailers coming down 5th Court. The street is only about 18 feet wide, and and the trucks approximately 12 feet wide. It doesn't leave very much room for oncoming traffic for that truck. That 18-wheeler weighs carry a total of approximately 40 tons. That's 80,000 pounds coming down 5th Court. We have kids on that street. We can't even back out our driveways. When we back out our driveways, we got people blowing the horn at us to get out the way. I think that's totally disrespectful for the resident that lives on 5th Court. I don't think that any large vehicle, such as dump trucks, tractors, and trailers, should be coming down 5th Court. If you come down, most of the traffic comes off of Dana Beach Boulevard, and they make a left turn. I believe that's 4th Avenue. And they come down there like they're on a racetrack. When they get to the curve, they have to slow down. Those tractor and trailer has already torn up the road over there. I had pictures I was not able to develop this evening so that I can show you how they've destroyed that pavement over there. The driver has to put his tractor up on the curb so that his trailer can follow in on the concrete. I feel sorry for the people that live on that corner there that can't get by. Now, I gave you all an illustration on number 2, and that's one of the signs there that says no through trucks. Now, I went back and I talked to the department over there that does all the public work over there, and I asked them to replace that sign by placing a sign that said no truck over 3/4 ton. Those are pickup trucks, but the other trucks are destroying that area. That sign that you see there was completely towed down, ran over. The one across the street from it that says no left turn was completely removed. Now, we cannot enforce the law if the signs are not there and the police officers can't do their job. So we need the enforcement of our police officers as well. Number 3, I showed you a picture of one of the tractors and trailers that came down right in front of my place and some of the residents here on 5th Court. That was number 4. Number 5 is another truck. This was all in one day. This is all in one day. It wasn't yesterday, 2 weeks from now. It's all in one day. If you go over there and stand on 5th Court, you can see the amount of traffic that comes down there. Between 3 o'clock in the afternoon to approximately 7 o'clock at night, there's so much traffic down 5th Court that you can't even back out of your driveway. Now, if I can't get out of my driveway, it creates a problem for me. It also creates a problem for the other residents that lives on that street. Now, I'm not saying what you can't do, but I'm asking for your assistance. I'm asking that the police officer enforce those signs over there if they have to place unmarked vehicles over there to ticket individuals who come down that street. The kids over there doesn't have a chance because of the speeders, even though there's a speed hump there. It's like taking candy from a baby. They just zoom over it. I can't live that way. The second thing, the other thing on item number 7, we have an individual over there that's a nuisance. I don't know whether he's homeless or what, but it appears that he's homeless. And the last meeting that you all had here, I attended that meeting, and you said there was a hotline. We utilized that hotline. The individual is still there. He goes to the south end of 5th Court in the afternoon. He throws his beer bottles, beer cans, peanut hubs, paper wrapper. He's a complete nuisance. The next day you go down, you'll find him up on the north end of 5th Court. Okay? Now, how many of you all would like to have somebody in your neighborhood that goes from one end to the next end? I don't. So I'm asking for assistance.
Sir?
I know it's going to take some time.
I'm going to need you to wrap it up, though,
Yes,
because you're
ma'am.
already past 5 minutes now.
I know that this is very good and everything, but I need your help, and that's what I'm asking for. And I do come here quite often from Maryland. I spend a lot of time here, and I pay taxes here. So I'm asking for your help.
Thank you. Thank you. So with the sign would be Public Works. Could we get that corrected?
I made a note, Mayor. We'll look at it.
Made a note? Okay. Sure. Well, but we, I mean, obviously BSO is here tonight, and I know they heard you, and I'm sure that they'd be happy to speak with you if need be. Okay, but I want to make sure the sign gets replaced as well. James Scrima. If you please state your name and address, and we'll try to limit you to about 3 or 4 minutes.
Thank you. James Scrima. I'm with A&A Drainage. I'm not a resident, 5040 King Arthur Avenue in Davie. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to speak up here tonight. It saddens me to find myself 17 years in business and I have to come forward and reach out to a city to get some professional help. What I'm about to read, I actually have documentation for, so at any time in a later date you want to meet up, I can give you the supporting documentation for everything I read out. I'm outraged to find out that your assistant city manager and your city engineer are speaking in a negative way about me and my company, and they're tarnishing my reputation and my good name. I'm being told that I'm operating without a license and that I'm paying off the director for work. It's pretty tough things to say, accusations that someone's committing criminal activity. If you check with the Broward County Licensing Board, up until about 3 years ago, there was no license required to perform my type of services. It was me who approached the board of Broward County and got them under Chapter 9 to create a license to ensure that people who perform my services have a license. So being outraged, I have 23 and a half years of law enforcement. in addition to the 17 years of running my business. And I take pride in helping people, creating a good rapport with cities and my customers. On February 27, 2019, I called to speak to Mr. Donnelly. He wasn't available. However, he did return my phone call at 5:22 p.m., and that call lasted 28 minutes. During this time, I expressed my concerns about all the rumors and about the investigation that I was told that Mr. Donnelly is performing involving myself and my company. Mr. Donnelly became angry and insisted that I reveal my sources to him. He also said 3 times that he's not doing any type of investigation involving myself or my company. I did a public records request with the City of Dania. I obtained that information from you guys, and I found that Mr. Donnelly was not truthful. In fact, on page 6, paragraph 7, he wrote, and I quote, "Further, the relationship between you and A&A Drainage requires more scrutiny, and it is not included in these findings. My investigation will continue during your suspension." End of quote. So he tells me 3 times on the phone during this 28-minute conversation there's no investigation in any way, shape, or form, and then I find out that there's actually one.
Sir, I'm going to need to ask you to wrap it up.
I only need about another minute and a half.
Okay, well, also, I do think that this may not be the appropriate forum for this.
Well,
But aside from that,
I think I should be entitled to approach you about these allegations to try
Absolutely.
and prevent it from
That's
going further,
fine.
and I will only take about another minute.
and I will, but can I just interrupt you for one
Sure.
moment? My understanding is that investigation is not involving you. You are a third party. You're not internal. But we're
According
not
to his
gonna- we're not
report,
gonna-
according to his report, I am.
Okay.
It's his written report. I have
I've
it
seen
here.
the report. It doesn't involve you.
I
It's not,
just
it's not
quote-
directed at you.
I just quoted what he said in his report, and it says that he is
Okay.
further investigating.
Sir, we need you to wrap it up because this really isn't the appropriate forum for this. I mean, it's been,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I am. I actually have my license in my pocket if you'd like to see it.
You know, she's right that it's really not, and I do want to hear everything you have to say. Could I give you my card and we could talk about this, you could get in touch about it? Sure.
I mean, I'd like to try and stop this now, let the city know what's going on. Otherwise, my only other recourse really is to have somebody, my attorney, contact the city attorney. We don't want to go that route.
I understand, sir, but in the 3 minutes, I
minutes,
don't
it's not the
feel
appropriate
you're going to
time
be
to
able
do
to
that.
present what you want to present, and I do want to hear what you have to hear, what you have to say. So I'm asking you to give me a call or send me an email.
and you're welcome to contact any of us directly. That's fine. This isn't the right place for it.
I actually think that it's more appropriate, rather to call each of you individually, is to tell you what's going on, and then if you want to reach out and get some further information, proof, documentation, then you could do that.
Then perhaps it might be better if you sent us an email. And then if we can reach out to you, we will reach out to you individually.
I'll get with the new city manager and let the
Okay.
new city manager guide it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay. Public safety reports.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. I was going to discuss a couple good quality cases that we've had, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Instead, I want to recognize a couple of our superstar employees that are in the back. When I speak about law enforcement, oftentimes I reference sports and teams, and I always say we got a district full of starters here because the bench warmers aren't going to make it here in Dania Beach. So as I said, I want to recognize the employees in the back. I'm going to read a little excerpt because if I sat up here and read everything in detail, we'd be up here till tomorrow morning. These guys have accomplished so much in the last couple months, it's unreal. Sergeant Seapot, Deputy Rica, Deputy Ferrafino, and Deputy Reyes have made over 40 arrests, removing dangerous criminals off our streets.
Can they come up as you call them?
Sure. As a combined team, they have recovered numerous stolen vehicles and pieces of property, solved many burglaries, and removed large amounts of illegal narcotics from our community. But with their proactive approach comes lots of risks. During 2 of the incidents which involved felony arrests, the suspects pointed firearms at the deputies, threatening them. While on patrol, they have been approached by several residents who have thanked them for helping remove the activity out of their neighborhoods. I want to personally thank these employees for their hard work, dedication, and commitment to the City of Dania Beach and the Broward County Sheriff's Office. Thanks, guys. We usually do a Deputy of the Month, but this is Deputies of the Months.
And can we come down and take a picture with everybody? Please.
Yeah, you guys come in front of the podium. Very few people make me feel small. I want to go.
I need a riser.
Want to leave out, under the supervision of Sergeant Seapot and Lieutenant Tarala here.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Do we have BSO Fire?
Good evening.
Good
evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Assistant City Manager, City Clerk, and Ms. Hansbrough. How are you? Good. Last time I was here, I discussed with you that I keep an eye on Dania Beach, some of the stats that are going on. So for the month of February, I noticed a slight increase, even though it had 28 days in the month. So total number of EMS runs had increased about 2%. So they were up to 372 over 359 the month prior. What I was looking at, though, which could be an anomaly, but I'm just going to keep my eye on it, that the number of traffic accidents had increased. So I'm going to go ahead and do a geomap of it and see if there was any causative factors, if it does stay up in the upper realm.
I was going to ask, is that in a particular area of town, or is it all over?
Right now, I'm going to go with a hypothesis it's all over, and then I'm going to use that and after I do geomap it and find out, and then see if there's any causative factors. I'll do a topographical and see if it's intersection related and so forth. Sometimes, and it's kind of difficult, it's time consuming because you have to look into the narrative, because when you get the address, it's at the intersection of, but it was actually before or after. Depends on how the call comes in.
Thank you.
And so I'm going to keep an eye on that. Something that just came out, and it was over this weekend. So, a lot of times we look at things and how do we gauge our performance. One of them is that we're going to have the honor and privilege to celebrate the 55th birthday of a cardiac arrest survivor from the city of Dania Beach. That will occur tomorrow at Station 17 at 2308 Southwest 42nd Street. We'll be bringing in command staff. The sheriff may be there. Undersheriff will be there. This is Mr. B's birthday. Is actually on the 14th, but we're going to bring him in there and call it a rebirth day. So it's going to be, he's left the hospital, absolutely no deficits, so he'll be celebrating his birthday with us. So I'd love to extend it to the Dania family to come out. It's one of yours. And I'm just so tickled pink on the whole outcome, and it's nice to do that.
What time is it? Yeah.
It's at 12 noon.
12 noon.
I'm going to turn the rest over to Growth and Development, Chief Busenberg.
Thank you. I'll be really quick. So in the first quarter for the fire prevention statistics, actually first quarter in a month, Total inspections, overall inspection activities that we did was 1,022. In just the permit-related inspections, 235. Annual inspections, re-inspections, certificate of use were 764. And then there's some miscellaneous, such as food trucks, complaints were 23. So again, as you all are aware, Dania Beach is a hopping place, and Dania Point keeps us busy, but we work very well with your building department, and so far everything's going great. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is a consent agenda. Are there any polls? Do we have a motion?
Move the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Next is bids and requests for proposals.
8.1 is a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, authorizing the proper city officials to execute an agreement with Sagaris Corp. For the public restroom renovation, interior renovation, and exterior improvements project related to city invitation to bid ITB number 18-012 in an amount not to exceed $218,000, providing for conflicts, further providing for an effective date. Not now. Anything's open to public, but it's not usually called a public hearing.
Okay. Any issues?
I'll make a motion to approve item 8.1.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
8.2, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, authorizing the proper city officials to execute an agreement with Stanford & Sons Trucking Corporation for the Oasis 15 installation of bike lane signs and solar lights project related to city invitation to bid ITB number 18-011 in an amount not to exceed $174,177.80, providing for conflicts, further providing for an effective date.
Any issues?
Move the item.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Next item is public hearings.
9.1 is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, to amend Chapter 28, the Land Development Code of the City Code of Ordinances by amending Part 7, Code Administration, Article 725 Definitions, Section 725-30 Terms Defined, providing for severability, providing for conflicts, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for an effective date. Second reading of this ordinance.
Good evening, Corinne LaJoy, Planning and Zoning Manager. This is second reading of this amendment, so I did a presentation at first reading. I can answer any questions or do a presentation again if you'd like. I know the applicant is here as well. This is for a text amendment, and it was modifying the definition of convenience stores, and it was we were modifying the square footage, the size of the convenience stores from 5,000 to 3,500.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak for or against?
I make a motion to approve.
I'd second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
Next is the quasi-judicial hearing. Anybody who's going to address the commission, who's going to testify, has to be sworn in from the Schutz and Bowen property for the Los Olas Studios, Inc. and Industry Consulting, including staff. Anybody who's going to speak, swear or affirm testimony to give, will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Thank you very much. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, approving the variance request VA 1219 submitted by Schutz and Bowen LLP on behalf of property owners Los Olas Studios, Inc. and Industry Consulting Group, Inc. for property located at 300 East Dania Beach Boulevard in the City of Dania Beach, Florida, as legally described in Exhibit A, a copy of which is attached to this resolution, providing for conflicts, further providing for an effective date.
Good evening, Corinne LaJoy, Planning and Zoning Manager. This application is a variance request, and the property is located at 300 East Dania Beach Boulevard. The zoning of the property is East Dania Beach Boulevard mixed use. It is in the Regional Activity Center. There are no open violations on the property at this time. The property itself is not vacant. There is a building on the property. The building is vacant. It was a former bank located as an out parcel of the Winn-Dixie. It was the old Chase bank. The applicant is requesting to waive a separation requirement of 1,000 feet between a retail pharmacy and a medical marijuana retail center to allow a separation of 909 feet. There is an existing Publix grocery store with a pharmacy on the adjacent property to the east, and that's where the separation measurement is being measured from. So this is the existing facility. I'm sure we're all familiar with it on East Dania Beach Boulevard. That facility is tucked into the corner. This is the old Winn-Dixie Shopping Center, and it's on the corner of that parcel. This is, to the east is the Publix, and there is a pharmacy located in that Publix, which is why the separation is required. This is the radius map showing the separation measurement that the applicant provided, and you can see they're measuring the 909. It's measured from door to front door of the adjacent facility. So they are short of the 1,000-foot requirement. We've worked with the city attorney's office, and they determined that how we measure it is door to door. There was questions about, is it walking distance, but we measured from door to door as the city attorney's office recommended us do. Because the measurement is essentially 91 feet short, less than 10%, we were recognizing that as de minimis in nature, and it's not something that we expect to set a precedence, being 91 feet short, or even result in a concentration of the type of use. So for those reasons, staff's recommending approval of the request. It is a variance, so we do have criteria identified in the land development regulations that the request is supposed to meet. The applicant has identified how their requests are consistent with those criteria. That's in your package. And as a result, staff's making a recommendation of approval for the variance request. And I know the applicant's here if you have any questions for them as well.
Commissioner Brandon-Marty?
Yeah, I only have a question for us. When we opened the one on Flippin' Waiters, because I'm not against it. What I want to know is, did they have to speak with the neighbors in that area? I don't know. What was the protocol for that? Anybody know?
No, because they met all of the requirements.
Yeah, but this doesn't. This needs is short by so many feet. But I'm just curious.
You're asking about Truly. Truly did not. We just attended the grand opening. They weren't required to meet with the neighborhood.
Oh, okay. No, because I know it's right at Meadowbrook. And I don't mind. It's right in my front yard, and I don't mind. I live real close to the bank. I can see it as I walk on the catwalk. And I was just curious. That's what it's called, catwalk. I was just curious as to how you did the other ones, because I didn't go. Because I'm all right with it. I'm not against it.
They just told us that it was a grand opening happening. I think.
But did you have the problem though with the fact that it didn't meet the requirements in footage?
It didn't.
Because this one does not, because of Publix Pharmacy being on where it's at, makes it too close.
That one didn't have that kind of problem.
None?
No, that didn't have
there
an issue.
were no issues with that.
That one didn't have an issue.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, it didn't have an issue, but
No.
this one does.
Only because of the closeness to the pharmacy.
Yeah, see, I don't know how they measure that. To me, that's not close. I don't know, door to door. Which door? I don't understand it.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak for or against?
I make a motion to approve.
Second. Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry.
Commissioner Harris.
I just want to, before I say yes, I just want to ask for one thing. And that's because I either drive by or walk by there every day. And the landscaping has kind of gone in disrepair. It looks kind of shabby.
Right.
The ficus is kind of whitefly eaten. And the only thing that I ask for is, take that place and just make it shine and landscape it and mulch it and do all those things to make, because it's a valuable corner. It's a very high-profile corner. And I think, eventually, I think what we talked about on the phone about potentially adding more parking spaces if you dismantle the drive-through portion of the bank. But, I mean, I'll vote yes right now, but the only thing that I ask is some additional landscaping and make it really nice.
For the corner.
For the record, my name is Ed Stacker, and I'm an attorney with Schutzen Bowen, 200 East Broward Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. And I'm pleased to be here tonight. It will be spruced up, the site. And the operator who's coming in is quality. And I'm not suggesting that others aren't. if you take some time and look at Soterra, it's a high-profile, quality business, and I think it will be open up some competition in Dania Beach and meet the needs of a lot of residents, to be honest with you. And Corinne summarized it, I think, appropriately. You've seen our application and the staff report, and we would ask that you look favorably upon the variance request.
Is there a motion on the table?
Yes, a motion and a second.
Has it been seconded?
I'll second it.
I did already, but you want to wait.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next item is discussion and possible action, modification of City Hall atrium. Vice Mayor?
All right, thank you very much. I almost wish those doors were open, but I think you all will be able to see where I'm going with this pretty quickly. So I don't know how many of you noticed, but we've brightened up the paint in the atrium, and and we did the paint on the outside as well with that really nice Morrison blue color.
Yeah,
and things are just, you like it?
Yeah.
Good. It's coming together really nicely.
Beautiful color.
And while this building is very old, and while we are hopefully going to be moving on to another building in my lifetime, for now, this is what we got. So this atrium, especially with the art we've been doing at the Dania After Dark, really has some potential to be quite
Beautiful.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Great.
But we have some obstacles in our way, and I think it can be very easily remedied. So right in the middle, we have that, I'm going to pick my words carefully, vintage console. And so, it serves the purpose. We have the computers there for, some people use it to maybe pay their water bill. The TV set is there, and then we also have the security cameras. So I know I've spoken with Willie. It's very easy to take that apart. It comes into 3 pieces, and that would just, really open up that space. And I just think it would be such an easy, tremendous improvement on there. While I was looking at it, we also, so in that interest of opening up that space, I hopefully you all noticed we have what do we have on there? What do we call it? The logo with the See It, Live It, Love It. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then right above it, there's a fish. So
I don't like the fish.
I just feel that the fish had its time and it's had its place and its purpose. But I think we're ready to move on from the fish. And then we have the bird up there, right above the Northwest Conference Room. And so apparently that does have some historical value. It was carved for us many centuries ago. And I've spoken to the Chamber of Commerce and the Dania Beach Women's Club, and so some of the things that I'm looking at on the walls, the old photographs that are beautiful. They're framed. They're part of our history. We want to preserve our history. The old bird. I don't know what it is. I don't know what kind of bird it is. We could relocate there. So we could put it on the second floor, those 2 things, which I think might have some historical or personal value, and relocate those to a place where they would really be cherished, and they would.
Whoa, wait a minute.
No.
Can I have the fish for IT Parker? We're in the marina.
And
where else is a fish?
And I would also like to allocate the fish to IT Parker.
Thank you very much.
So everything has a home. Nothing's being thrown away. It's all being repurposed, and it's all being, historically going to its correct places. And now this will just open up our space and really make it shine. And I would just like to get the consensus of my fellow commissioners.
Can I ask a couple of questions?
You can ask all the questions.
Okay. First of all, if somebody could tell me that the thing in the middle, with the TV and all of that. Is there anything there that would need to, I'm assuming we need to relocate the computers, we need to relocate the TV and that sort of thing?
All has places.
Yeah, both are true.
Okay, but I mean, is it something we could relocate into City Hall? Because people, I'm sure, come in here
Yeah,
to see these things.
Yeah, I believe so. We could, we'd have to do a redesign and find a place to put it. But the computers are used, and the TV is really for an informational device.
It's right waiting. There's the desk on the side, right by the Northwest Conference Room. I already have the chairs set up. They're just waiting for the computers. The TV, and the security cameras. I mean, you all could decide where that's most appropriately, where it would take those.
Okay. The old photographs, I don't really know that I'd want to move those. I mean, because we do have a historical city here, and we do have old photographs that do represent that, and I think we are trying to blend the new with the old. That would probably be something I'd be opposed to. The fish, I don't, it is a beach community. We do have waterways, so fishing is important in the city, and I do think it is important to have things that represent that here. I do agree that it could be better placed at IT Parker or even the Marina building that we have where the Marina Advisory Board meets. That might also be a good place for it. But that's all I wanted to add. Commissioner James.
Yes, I'm okay with it all going. I mean, not like
Not gone.
not like in
Relocated.
the fire, not like in the fiery furnace, but relocated to a more appropriate place. I'm definitely in favor of allocating that fish to Commissioner Brandon Marty and her wants at IT Parker. She's very passionate about it, as we see her nodding her head. The photographs, the photographs in the Northwest Conference Room are, they're not strategically placed.
But they're getting faded as well, and they're subject to damage. So by putting them in a place such as the chamber or at the Women's Club, which has even spoken about doing a museum with things related to Dania Beach's history, it would be a protected place where they could still be showcased in a way where they're not going to be getting the fading from light, and the safety aspect of that, we know they're going to be safe.
Okay, you've
Or the library,
thought
right.
you've
All these
thought that
places want
through.
them.
You've thought that through. I'm just in favor of it all being reallocated. Or I've even seen. I've been to a few museums that have had them scanned and kind of put into like some type of a
collage.
No, not a collage, but if we use our technology here to have a screen that you can say, oh, let's travel back to 1950, and you can point on the screen and it'll take you to these photos.
Library.
It's a TV, but
There's lots of options.
well, we have other options. So okay, I'm in favor.
Thank you.
Commissioner Harris.
So the fish is going to Commissioner Brandon Marte at the IT Parker Center, which is appropriate. Did you want to flip that bird somewhere else?
Good one, Bill. Good one.
Well done, Commissioner. Well done. I believe it would be most appropriate to put that bird on the second floor and have the conversations with the chamber, with the Women's Club, and with the library, and see who wants it most. I feel confident that we could find a great home for the bird.
So he's flipped.
I agree.
All right.
Just add one more thing. In conjunction with what Commissioner James said, with scanning the photographs, I think that's a great idea, and maybe we could do that and put it, if we have the TV still in somewhere available so that people are coming in for informational, maybe, or on a computer, like a screensaver of the different pictures. So this way it's still here, so people, if they want to see some of the historical photos, they can, but then if it goes somewhere else, that's fine.
That's a good idea.
Thumbs up.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So
Assistant City Manager, is that good enough?
Is that good? Yes, that's clear direction. Thank you.
do we need a consensus? Do we have a consensus?
I'm one.
We have a consensus.
And I would like to add on, from what I was told, this is doable, but if we can get it done over the next 2 weeks, that would be my first choice. But obviously, you know, whatever logistics allow. But I would like to see it done over the next 2 weeks if we can swing that. That's all I got. Thank you.
I think we have a consensus. Okay, number 2, schedule city commission summer break.
July. We always do it.
I'm not sure who
every
set
year.
this.
I'm going to Italy. Me too.
Yeah. Tom?
I have not a lot to offer, but over the last several years, the commission has canceled the first meeting in July and August. It's entirely up to you how you want to handle it.
Yeah.
Although you do need to meet at the end of July for a special budget meeting for your tentative special assessment rates.
Does anybody have an objection to following the same path
I
we've
don't.
done in the past?
Wait, what was it again? Can I just hear it?
The first meeting
The
in
fir-
July and the first meeting in August would be canceled.
Okay.
I have no objections. Commissioner Harris?
So when will we meet in July?
The end.
The last week,
The end of the normal second meeting.
23rd.
like we always do.
So we'd be off on the 9th, on the 23rd for July, and for June, off on the 4th, which for those of us who care, it's the last day of school, and then,
I don't think we talked about June, it was just July and August.
oh, just kidding, just, never mind. So,
Keep it the same way it's
so for
always been.
August, off
July
for 6th,
and
on for the
August.
20th.
Right.
Yeah.
August 13, actually,
Yeah, you're
canceled.
right.
Oh,
You come
off
from
for
Italy?
13th, and then
And
on for
August
27.
27th, yeah.
And presumably, we would have to move the CRA meeting to the second meeting of the month.
Yeah, I think Raquel brought it up last year after the commission had
Okay.
altered their schedule. Okay.
Perfect.
That's fine with me.
Same.
Can I make a suggestion that we maybe, rather than go the whole month of July without a meeting, that we meet on July the 9th to do the things that we need to do with the millage rate and then take
We're-
the rest
we're
of the
meeting
month
at the end
off?
of July.
Because
We
I'm
would
going
meet.
to Italy and ain't going to
What?
work.
We're meeting at the end of July.
What's the date?
End of July. you mean.
23rd.
See, I
23rd.
No.
kind of already have tentative plans to go somewhere
Oh,
from the
you too,
20th
huh?
through the 27th. So,
So would it be
Could
better
meet-
to do, we'll meet the first meeting, the second Tuesday of the month, and skip the fourth Tuesday?
that's fine. So that would be the 16th.
Would that work for you, Commissioner Brandibani?
I'm
with
gone
your-
the first 3 weeks of July. I'm going to
No, it won't
Italy.
work.
Right, but so if we did it on the 9th, you would still be here.
No, I'm not
No,
here
she's
July
gone
9th.
the
I
first
leave on
3
July
weeks.
1st.
Okay, okay.
Well-
Second, I leave.
Well, somebody gonna miss a meeting. That's what it looks
Well,
like.
or what about this? What if we did, instead of
Leave it the way
July?
that it always has been. We've had it for 10 years that way. Leave it alone.
Okay, I was going to suggest we do June and August instead of July.
No.
No? Okay.
Me either.
Mayor?
What do we know?
Yes.
Thomas just pointed out, just due to due to our budget requirements and having budget hearings, we need to get that done before August 2nd. And having the first meeting in July, we may not be prepared for that. So,
So then,
I didn't
as
even
it's been done in the past, take off the first meeting in July
Yes.
and the first meeting in August?
yes.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Would any of us feel any type of way if Commissioner Harris missed a meeting?
Hell no. He can
Okay,
go.
good. Go, Bill.
He's going.
He's over here sweating bullets like Mr. Meeting.
He's
Go to
going
Alaska.
to Alaska.
I am going to you.
Hey. Too cold.
But was that for the first meeting in July or the second?
No, if Bill goes, he can go. He isn't going to be thrown off the commission.
So we're gonna do the same
Those days
thing.
are long
The same as
gone.
last time?
Correct.
Right, the same as the last several years. Okay, so we'll skip the first meeting in July and the first meeting in August.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
And we're going to hold any important decisions also. I think that's the nice thing
Well,
to
how
do.
about let's do this. If he has an issue with something that he sees, Commissioner Brandon
Wait, what, I know what you're going to say, but before you go there, one comment. You just said to me that we needed to have some decisions made about the budget before August 2nd?
Yeah, what you've done in the past years, you've had at 5 p.m., you've held a special budget meeting prior
Okay.
to the commission meeting in July.
But
the
if,
second meeting.
if Commissioner Harris can't be here for that July meeting, that's what my concern is, because then he wouldn't be able to be here for the budget meeting either. That's,
So if he has any, Commissioner Harris, if you have any issues that you foresee when you look at it, then we have to address that then. But I don't think that it's really been, over the past few years, something that we have fought up here. It has never been a major problem. We've been in and out of those meetings in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
will that be something we can do?
Well, those are, that's generally where you set the millage, and you'll know if you're going to do a millage change way before that.
Okay. All right. All right, so then we'll go ahead and I think we have a consensus that we can go ahead and cancel the first meeting in July and the first meeting in August. Okay?
Okay, I'm just trying to find that bird a new home in Alaska.
Ah, is that what you're going to do?
Take it with you.
Don't bring it back. Okay, next item is scheduled training for new parliamentarian system.
Why? But why couldn't, I don't know who did that. I don't know why we couldn't, Tom couldn't just call us and, like we do every other thing.
What is
Yeah, the new parliamentary system is something that you had budgeted last year, and it's the way you go about voting on issues, and it's electronic. Rather than introduce it right at a meeting, we wanted to do a work session or a practice meeting with you, so you become totally familiar with how you would like to do that. So what we're looking to do is set some time aside when you would want to sit and meet and go through that and have a work session on it.
Do you do it with us all together?
Yes,
Okay, so we just need to give you a date when we're all available.
yes.
Are we doing it as soon as possible?
I think it's when your schedule allows.
Okay,
The
so-
system is ready to go online, but we're not going to do it unless we're all trained and comfortable on it.
Well, Mayor, let's start with you.
Well, first of all, do we need to do it between the hours of, you're usually 9:45, right? So
I'm after 9:45.
do we have to do it between 9:45 and 5, or can we do it, say, at like 5:30?
Well, we need to
That
have
makes it a lot
staff there,
easier.
but I don't think that should be a problem. We have staff after hours now, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
think
can
we
probably do it.
can do it at night.
All right, so I'm going to let you start, Mayor, with your, and we'll kind of all just, everyone break out their books.
Hold on. March 25th looks good for me.
I'll be traveling
Are you traveling that whole week?
24th, 25th, and 26th.
So next date.
27th is good for me.
I'm at hospital, Joe DiMaggio.
Saturday.
So am I.
Wait, I'm in the wrong month. Sorry, looking at something else. So March
Saturday the
25th.
30th? Is that what you're asking?
What time are we talking about first?
We do it late afternoon, that would be fine with me.
I can't do late afternoons. I have a 7-year-old. I mean,
prefer
because don't they
mornings,
say we
too.
need,
Okay.
wait, what's late afternoon? Like in the work
At 4
hours?
o'clock.
Mm.
Okay. The 25th I could do, I'm actually free the whole day on the 25th. So if you want to pick a time,
What about 10? We're talking March 25th, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm.
Okay. So how's 10 a.m. for people?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to throw a monkey wrench in this. Joe, who's fundamental in the training in the background, I'm sorry, Joe is out the 25th, 26th, and 27th.
okay, skip that.
So Joe, just keep your calendar out and you'll do this with us.
So we're not available like next week at any time, Mayor? You're
Next
not
week is
available?
very bad for me.
Okay.
So
Very
let's
bad
move
week.
to the first week of April.
What's wrong with the 20th?
Well, wait,
What
the
about-
28th, I can do at, say, 10:30? 11 o'clock? 11 o'clock would be better.
11 a.m.?
On the
Is that-
28th?
How's 11 a.m. on the 20th, Joe? Or any other time on the 20th?
11 a.m. on the what?
Okay.
28th?
Hold on, let me see what else.
Or what about 29th? The next-
29th, I'm open.
Friday, that's good.
29th, I'm at Joe DiMaggio.
And where are you talking?
Well, how long does this training take?
It's probably going to take a little while. Have you seen the system yet?
Yes.
Nikki
Yeah,
thought it
I did sort of a
less than an hour.
But I mean,
pre-training.
you're the one that needs most of the training. That's
Yeah.
why I'm saying it might not take a long time for the rest of us to push yes, no, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm asking Joe. How long do you think it would take?
Joe's saying it should only take about a half an hour,
Yeah, so
not
we
more
can-
than an hour.
So we can do
certainly.
it on the 28th when you get back. I think.
That's what you told me last time.
The process to be,
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I have more, yeah.
the process is we're going to go through an old agenda and vote on the old agenda. That's basically what we're going to do.
Okay, he can find 30 minutes won't put you too far back on the 28th when you get back, will it?
No, I just want to make sure everything's prepped and ready.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll do whatever you guys can come up with.
To the 28th, that's pretty good.
Then let's
Right,
do
it was
it.
just Joe that we were worried about.
What
That's all
time,
right.
would, if we do it like at
I
11?
start at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So
The earliest I can
whenever
be
you
here
guys
is
are ready.
11.
That's good.
Okay. 11, I'm
That should be
fine.
So 11 a.m. on March 28th? All right.
Yes.
Put it in the book.
I am too. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring the donuts.
And what is this for?
Colin, can you have Chris put that on our schedules, please?
Yes, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next item, commission comments. Commissioner Brandemarty.
No, I just want you all to know that the seniors had a very successful St. Patrick's Day luncheon today.
It was today.
Also, I would like to point out that this Raphael and Eric Brown, let me tell you, what a team they are. And Danny being available at everything and or sending a guy if something else is happening is just wonderful. And I personally want to thank you, Danny, BSO, absolutely. You, Eric, are amazing. I'd never want to be without you. I'm serious. And Raphael, he's the greatest. Am I right? Even my members that are here will tell you. Raphael is unreal. And not only that, since I learned that Akeem goes with the other group places, I now tell Raphael he has to go with us. So he takes care of us to make sure we're all counted for on the bus and that no senior is left behind.
And I think he enjoys it, too.
He loves
He
it.
does.
He loves it. Thank you. That's all. Nothing else. I want to go home.
Commissioner Harris.
I just came back from Washington, D.C. this morning, and I went to the National League of Cities, and it was an honor to represent the city there with 1,000 other delegates from all over the country. And I took sessions all day Saturday and Sunday and Monday, and just a sample of them. It was about the urban plan for elected officials, advancing racial equality in local government. That was part 1 and part 2. We met about the census and consultation for the census of 2020. The ethical rules and tools of government and leadership, and opportunity zones, which the session was packed, and it's making sure opportunity zones produce opportunity zones and results for everyone. So those things will take more discussion, and I can pass some more information along to the commission at another time. The other thing I wanted to mention was on March the 1st, Commissioner James, myself, and Colin Donnelly, we met with the school board superintendent about the Olson property, and there was really no substantial resolution, only that we have a lot more work to do in convincing them to take our vision for what we envision the property rather than the spin that we seem to be getting from them. So that's just that's just my thoughts.
Commissioner James.
That was finished. Okay. Well, the first thing on my list was Olson, so I guess that's appropriate. My takeaway from it, to try to make it as short as possible and so that you all understand, I'm coming from it from number one, a safety issue, a safety and health issue, and then the potential of what that site can be. I'm not sure who organized this meeting, but the school board was under the impression that we had a financial way to help fund future plans for this property, and which I wouldn't be opposed to. However, the dollar amount that they came back for the demolition is $2.7 million. Now, a few years ago when I first started these conversations, when I was first introduced and was sitting in on these conversations, the number was around $800,000. I'm not sure of what is inside of the structure or what the plans read or why it is that amount. I'm sure there's a lot of different things that are in that abandoned building. However, I do want to see what the commission would possibly think, because the school board says simply, in at least the next 5 years, they will not have any funding to help us either demo the building or have a partnership with anything that we would want to do with that property. Now, if the city, say for instance, put out an RFP to see how much someone else would then charge us to tear down that facility. I do think that there will then be potential to bring the school board back to the table to say, look, this is what we are willing to do as long as we are able to have some type of a shared use plan or whatever we would decide to put there. But I don't think that it would be in our best interest to continue to talk to the school board until we have either a workshop internally, which would include, of course, Parks and Recreation, which would include our city manager, assistant city manager, all of our staff here to see what we really are willing to do with that property. So I don't know if you all are willing to put an RFP out just to see how much it will even cost for someone to demo that site, because we are in a place where we have major hurricanes coming more frequently. And if the worst case happens and the roof blows off of that, we're talking about asbestos everywhere. We're talking about a lot of things that are in that building that could be potentially dangerous and harmful to the health of a lot of our residents. And just because they have it insured, a dollar amount does not save your quality of life when you have been exposed to those types of things. So that was my number one, to ask, what are we wanting to do, or what was our reason for meeting with the school board?
Commissioner Brandemar, you had a question?
I'm going to put out over $2 million and not own the property. We're not that nuts. I got a question for them down there. Tom, my understanding from the city manager that left, Bob Baldwin, that the money Broward County has allotted for that, in 5 years it will be used to demolish that building.
That's not what he said. They said.
I'm not up on that aspect of it.
Yeah, I can.
Colin, please talk about that to me, because that's been in my head since we were looking into putting the money out for a building that is probably so loaded with asbestos that when a man is going to demolish it and he tells you it's $2 million, could end up to be $4 million. So I need to know about what is this money that's set aside for within 5 years that they have to demolish it.
I'll give you my take on the meeting. I wasn't
Go ahead.
present for your conversations previously, but Commissioner James did bring up this discussion of the past fiscal matters. And basically what they said was, and I may be a little bit off on this, is that there was talk about doing that. However, no money was actually assigned to the demolition in their capital project, and that's the way they go about doing things. They can talk about it, but if they don't associate any money with it, it's not going to happen. The money that they do have underneath their bond is for other things. They're talking about air conditioning and a bunch of other things that are more student-related. And they basically said they're not going to spend money on an old building. They're going to take care of the students first, which was approved by the bond. The 5-year idea comes from the fact that they think they might, if they were going to do anything, they'd be done with this first part of their money within 5 years. And, if they were to do anything, they'd have to go back out and look at another bond or another way to raise revenue. And that's the earliest they could even look at it. And there's no promise in 5 years. That's the next time we can even talk about it. So it's a no-go for 5 years, and you don't know what you're going to get after that.
You know what I find amazing? Usually when there's a house that's bothering people because it's dangerous, like Smith property, never once did one person from the people that live around that area come and stand before us and complain about Olson School but us. So before I would even want to vote on something that's over $2 million, I'd rather put it on a ballot and let the residents in the city of Dania Beach make that decision, not 5 of us. I don't think so.
No. So I said, if we put out an RFP and then see how much companies would charge us, because I don't think it's $2.7 million to tear that building down. They put out a capital needs plan, or they put together a capital needs plan, and that's when they said, okay, it will cost a certain amount of money to demo this building, but they did not allocate the funds, as Colin stated. So they said within the next 5 years, after they spend the money, even after that, they still are going to look at the capital needs plan and choose what they feel are the priorities. So that doesn't mean that they're going to choose to demo this building over, doing something that will concern where students are currently at. I'm not suggesting that the city pays $2.7 million.
No, you're not right.
I'm suggesting that we go out to bid and see how much someone else would charge us, because it probably would be maybe half or more, but we don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Commissioner, Broward County got a heck of a lot more money than us. They should pay to tear it down. They own it. They want us to tear it down, and we won't own it. Where does that happen? And not only that, if I'm not mistaken, the pipes underground there are all for the drainage for that part of the city. They don't even have any idea of what terrible things they can get into once they start tearing down that building that's so old. Like I said, the residents there, none of them are complaining about it, only us.
Mr. Shapiro, you had something to add?
Yes.
I'm glad.
Bob Shapiro, Master Development 2890, West State Road 84, Dania Beach. I spent a long time with former Mayor James, now Commissioner James, last year around this time, talking about this, meeting with Tom Ansbro made us an appointment to meet with the people to do to get some demolition bids. I actually was able to arrange for 2 different demolition bids, which were in the $300,000 range without the asbestos. You know, the mayor, I'm sorry, the commissioner and I had you know, big plans for, you know, what could be done there, et cetera. My suggestion to this group is really to follow what Commissioner James is saying, is to put out an RFP for the demolition. There's a contractor that, you know, tore down the old Dania Point property, tore down the old Hard Rock property, et cetera, that is really a low bidder. I bumped into a demolition contractor today who I asked whether or not he'd like to bid, and he said that he could never bid against these guys because they're always very low. And, you know, but there's that company and there's 3 or 4 others that we could get to at least give us the idea of it. I think once the new city manager gets, you know, into, you know, some sort of stable, you know, gets her feet on the ground here, et cetera, that she should get involved in this. And that I believe that there is a way, and I think that, you know, the Parks Department and Bermeo Ahumil have already done a study of what could be there. It could be priced out. There's going to be a lot of additional revenues over the next couple of years coming from Dania Point and other places where revenue bonds could be issued. It's my understanding, and I don't know if this is right or not because I haven't gotten it directly, but that the school board is in fact willing to lease it to the city for 99 years
Yeah, that's what I was
for
gonna
$1 a
continue
year.
to say.
If that's the case, that's like buying it for nothing, all right, except for tearing it down. So if we can do that, I agree with Commissioner James that I think it's a terrible health hazard. I think the city should have condemned it a long time ago if they have the ability to do that. I've been there twice. They still have blackboards and chairs and tables and everything else that are there that could easily be taken away for, you know, for $500, but they won't let anybody into the building is the problem because of the asbestos issues. They wouldn't let me into the building. They would only let me look inside the doors of the building. But, you know, I'm, you know, very much involved in that. I think it's a fabulous piece of property. I think it's something that can, in fact, be very useful to the Parks Department. And I think for $1 a year, just for tearing it down, it's going, and to tear it down, you know, we can, between all of the additional tax revenue, et cetera, we can figure out a way over the next couple of years to make that thing something special for this city.
So, thank you. So as I was saying, like if we, it doesn't cost us anything to put out an RFP
Right.
to see what we would get back. And I did during the conversation They spoke about a 99-year lease with a shared usage plan that we spoke with the Director of Parks and Recreation. And I think that, you know, just even if we phase it out, so even if they came back and we budgeted for 2 parts of our budgetary year to fund it or whatever it is, I just don't know how much it will cost, and I'm sure it's not $2.7 million.
And I just have a question about if we were to do an RFP based upon, you said something about if we didn't do something now, we'd have to wait another 5 years for another meeting about this. Would there be a time limit as to when we'd have to do this RFP and get some sort of response back and make a decision?
With the school board?
Our conversations haven't gone that far. I think I recall where we left it, Commissioner James said she wanted to come back to the City Commission and have more discussions and then go back to them. So I don't think there's a clock on it as far as when we need to act.
With Board Member Corn, you know, pretty much she was really strict about it doesn't make sense to continue to meet unless we have a plan. So I would not suggest that we go back to the board, to the school board, or sit at a table with them if we don't have a concrete plan on what we are willing to do. Sure. And they said if we do have a creative plan that does not include the school board funding it, because they were very clear they don't have the funds to allocate to that, they would be interested in seeing how we could partner together with a shared usage plan, and they would incur some of the maintenance costs and stuff when the school uses the facility. They will be interested in that, but they made it very clear they don't know, they have no timeline on when they will be interested on tearing that school down.
And I presume that if we are going to be the ones that put out the cost for this, that we would have more say in what's going to be done with that property.
We would have all the say.
I wouldn't do anything there until all that was locked up about, you know, terms, use, and all those things, and how it's going to work. You know, but you've raised a lot of good questions here.
If I can make a suggestion so that we can just end this for now, I think that Commissioner James has a good idea to have the RFP. I think it's something that we should wait until, again, the city manager gets settled into her position. I volunteer to be a committee member if a special committee wants to be set up to study it. I think that Eric Brown, you know, has ideas for it, et cetera. Bermeo Ahimil has ideas for it. I think we need to look at the big picture in a committee setting of some sort, and then have a commission workshop to determine whether it's something we want to do or not.
Thank you. Commissioner Brandamari?
No. I was just thinking that if you could get it done so cheap, why don't you offer that people to the board to do of Broward County, and then we'll build on it. How's that? Let them tear it down first if you could get it so cheap. Because there's no way you'll sell me on the fact that it wouldn't be under $2 million. There's no way, Bob. No way at all.
So do we have consensus?
Well,
No.
We
We're
have
gonna.
We have one more. Commissioner Harris.
And Eric, I apologize because I didn't mention that you were there, but you made some great points and about the shared use of the property. And, you know, Superintendent Runcie brought a lot of people with him from facilities management and a couple school board members. And I felt like that we were kind of like being danced around, that they didn't really want to hear what we had to say, even though it's our city. So what if we like condemned the property and
That's better.
took it from them? Can we do
I
that?
like that.
No.
Because it's like a sovereign community or something?
You don't have the ability to go in and declare it unsafe, and you don't have the ability to take it down.
Okay, because they even said that if a hurricane came and blew in the roof, well, she said, didn't
We
she,
have
Eric?
insurance money.
Well, we have insurance and the roof's blown in. We don't use it, so, you know, the roof's blown in. But then
Who
there's
said
all
that?
that, one of the facilities manager, I don't recall her name. But, so as long as we have a plan, I think we can go back to them and
Is there consensus, so we can move this forward, because
Yeah.
I don't want to prolong this, is there consensus to at least put out an RFP to see how much it will cost to demo it?
I'm
Yes.
in favor of it.
Yes.
all in
Okay.
favor?
No.
Okay,
We have
okay, that's
four.
fine, it's a consensus. That we can get a RFP put out to just see what it will cost to demo it. Is that doable?
Actually, I think this is something, again, we should really speak with the new city manager.
No, that's
You
fine.
don't want to be in a position of issuing an RFP and have people like Mr. Shapiro go there who cannot get inside the building. I mean, you really need to find out what the conditions are there if you really want solid numbers that come back.
Right.
If you don't, you're going to get change orders and you won't even know the order of magnitude of what you've signed up for.
Let me clarify that. If we get the plans from the school board, who has the blueprint to what's in there and the details of their cost estimate of what it's going to cost to demo that, and package that all together, of course, we're not, I mean, us coming up with a RFP is not going to be us moving without our new city manager. I think I have a meeting with her tomorrow, so I plan on addressing this again tomorrow with her. So nothing will be done without, Anna as well. But as long as we have those details in there, because you're right, if they don't have those details in there, it's going to come back cheaper because it's not going to include the asbestos, and they have something else that's on top of the building or something that drove the cost up. So is that doable if we get all of the factors that are needed into the RFP?
Well, one of the factors may be that if you're just doing to see what the costs are, you may not get, bidders may be saying, why would I bid if they're not going to go ahead and issue the contract? Usually within an RFP, you state how long the bids are good for, when you intend to do the work. And just from this discussion, it sounds like if you were to go ahead, it may be kind of open-ended until you actually figured out financing and some other things, how to work with the property. I think it just needs more discussion rather than going out and developing an RFP. Because if it's not going to be, if you're not going to pull the trigger on the RFP, people may be hesitant to actually go and bid. It would take a lot to get their contractors in or to look at it, and it would take money actually to get in there and develop it. You'd have to hire somebody, somebody with specialty in doing those things to look at the asbestos and do the testing, so you actually knew what you had. So it's a commitment up front on what you're looking to do.
I'm looking to tear the building down. And so if anybody's confused about that, that's my. If it's not too much, I'm looking to tear the building down.
So, Colin, what would your recommendation be? That we wait till the next meeting?
Yeah, I think we were talking about a workshop having to do. We can bring it up again. We're going to talk about a workshop with the master plan, and then we can get better direction when we sit down and do that with the master plan.
When is that workshop?
I think we're waiting for Ms. Garcia to get on board, and so we can schedule it with her to go over the results. And
so you all want to workshop this?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
And then once Anna's on board, we can just send around the emails and do that.
Yeah, Tom could schedule the workshop whenever Mrs. Garcia gets here, so we'll know her schedule because I don't know it offhand. All right, awesome. 2020 census, I want to know what we are planning as a commission to kind of do and who's going to head this to try to see how we are going to ensure that each and every resident here is accounted for, because there is a dollar amount attached to each and every resident. So I don't know, I mentioned it before, but we didn't have anything concrete, and it's just floating in the air.
Well, I've been trying to get some volunteers from different communities who would be willing to help us with that in order to make sure that there's somebody, if we can, I know we need to set up a system and figure out where we're going to do these different settings so that people can come there and do things online and we can help them. But I've been trying to get some local residents who would be willing to volunteer to help with that as well.
What department would kind of be in charge of this? I have no idea.
I'm not sure either.
I mean, if we wanted to have someone that is the point person of kind of making sure this happens, who would that be here?
Colin?
Again, I would wait and have more discussion with Ms. Garcia.
Ms. Anna would be the lead person?
Yeah.
Well, she'll, when she gets here and she looks at our resources.
She could assign somebody as a point person at that point.
Yes, I know I've had some discussions with Commissioner Harris on this, just about some of the issues that we're facing, and I think we all recognize that we'll be best if we can best count our people ourselves. And
okay, I'm adding this.
Commissioner James, I had put together a little PowerPoint, and I was going to go on the next meeting, I think, and I had just identified several different opportunities for where we could.
About this?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So yeah, I just didn't,
I attend the Port Everglades Association luncheons almost every month, and they are going to be renovating the Lauderdale Yacht Club, and so they have decided, and they called me and asked what places we had here that could accommodate them, and they will be at Tropical Acres, I think, starting in August. So I think that's a great opportunity maybe for all of us to go. I know that Vice Mayor has been there before. I'm always there. It'll be a good show if we all came one day and represented, especially there in our city. I just want to, again, applaud the CRA, Public Services, and especially Mr. Willie on these rebranding efforts and the amazing work that they've been doing around City Hall and changing the visualization of who we are as a city here in Dania Beach. I am glad to say that our internship program is up and running thanks to Miss Paula. She's worked very hard on this, and I'm so excited. I heard that we have a few people that have already submitted. If anyone wants to submit to help intern for the commission, don't be afraid. They're probably like, no. But we do welcome you all. Again, I know we're talking about workshops, but we have to zero in on a date for these Airbnb workshop that we've been saying we're going to have, and we have not had it yet. I don't know what you all want to do about that as well. We address this almost every meeting, so I know the Commissioner Harris had a lot of great ideas, and he has a lot of information. I would like to know when we want to workshop that. It's going to be, you said what? So we'll see some dates when Mr. Benzer, can you see some dates when he can do it and you can coordinate that? All right. Just wanted to tell the residents who are still asking me about the sand project on the beach and why the trucks are still there. To my understanding, there was a delay because of permitting issues. And so we're waiting on new dates. And hopefully we're gonna coordinate that through our Parks Director, Eric Brown. And so any other issues with that related to that goes to him.
Commissioner James, do you know anything about, I've gotten 3 emails about the sea turtles. It was my understanding that the Army Corps of Engineers was patrolling that area, but then I've heard some other people who frequent the beach for, paddle boarding or whatever and are there frequently, that there hasn't been any patrolling going on. So maybe, Assistant City Manager, if you know anything, I thought perhaps incorrectly that as of March 1st, it was officially turtle nesting season and they couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, what Broward County has done in the past, I think they partner with, I believe it's NOVA, and they have the people in their programs. The volunteers, and really, I think they're probably grad students. They walk the coast at a particular time. They mark nests with GPS, and they stake it, and they'll put on orange safety cones. Everybody's probably seen these on the beach. It's construction fencing. And they report those up, and they map them. That's still going on. I believe in the Army Corps' plan that, they're supposed to, check with the people who are doing the checking. People are doing that and make sure that there's no sea turtle nesting going on. And that's part of their permit. I think they recognize that they were going to go into sea turtle nesting season. So I believe that's going on. I haven't heard otherwise.
Okay. All right. Well, I do know that there is a number that you can call if you see any sea turtle nesting. I should have had that available, but I'll put that on my social media. And if you see that there's any sea turtle nest being disturbed, I know that there is a number to call, and you report that because, as much as we want the sand on the beach and we want the beach to look pretty, we can't interrupt that, and I don't think any of us want to.
I'm finished.
Commissioner James, just you mentioned that luncheon, the POA luncheon.
Yes, the PEA.
Can you send around an invitation to all of us, or send us the email of the luncheon?
I'm going to I'll send Chris the email that was sent to me, and then she can schedule it because it's the first Friday of every month.
Okay.
And so, and it's at I think like 11:45ish. So
Okay.
I don't have it, but she'll have to send it to you all because I can't.
Thank you.
All right.
Commissioner, Vice Mayor.
Commissioner James, when's the West Lawn monument?
Callie has all the information. He's given all the information to the people that are going to create it. I think it takes approximately 6 weeks.
To create the stone monument?
To create the stone monument, both of them. I would like to see who is going to put together a ceremony of some type.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I've spoken with Katya to do like a press release to try to get some media coverage. And that's all I can tell you at the moment.
Okay, but you'll make sure that we know about it?
I'll make sure we're all there.
Okay, all right. Because I think it was a really beautiful job that talking about, you know, the names that are going to be on there, and I think it's going to be a source of light in a dark spot of our history. So I think that's all I got. Have a good night.
I don't really have much to say. The only thing that I did want to say was I wanted to thank Colin Donnelly for the last few months of basically doing the job of two people while we have not had a city manager. I know he's been very busy and has stepped up. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I appreciate that. And with that, we'll move on to appointments. Airport Advisory Board, Commissioner Harris.
I still don't have any volunteers.
I have one.
Okay,
Can I
go for it.
You can give that to him because you don't have any appointments left.
Oh, right. Yes, no, I know I don't have an appointment left. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'll give you the thing for the airport. I'm doing your Marine. Okay, so do you have any other? Okay.
Are you going to give the name now, or?
No, I'm going to pass you down the paper.
Oh,
Well,
you
we have
should
to-
say the name.
We need a
probably.
name because we have to
Okay.
vote on it.
George Ferrer. No, he's a good guy, though. And then for Marine.
Okay. How about Marine Advisory Board?
I have one. Thomas Angelos, 218 Southwest 13th Street. Hey.
There you go.
Don't even know you.
Came to the
Thank
meeting.
you. Thank you.
Commissioner, if I could remind you, you had an email from Gregory Gallio that he would like to remain on, and I think you responded to him.
She gave me.
No, I'm saying, wait, you just gave your appointment to?
Yep.
Oh, sorry, Tom. Do you want to, wait, was
Well,
that for
Commissioner
Parks and Rec?
Brandemarty also has an appointment. I don't know if she wants.
She
agreed to who I want.
Okay.
Is there any other boards you would like to serve on?
Do you have a sister?
Airport,
Samantha?
Yeah.
So you and Samantha both want to be on some boards. Because Samantha, I was going to put Samantha on Marine. Which one of you wants it more? You? All right. Your sister's a nurse, though. She works with me. So don't say anything bad about me. All right. Just tell her it went down differently. For right now, yeah.
I have 2 appointments on the Airport Advisory Board,
Okay.
and our Vice Mayor has one for Parks and Rec unless she has someone.
So you can have Parks and Rec, or you can knock off your sister and take Marine.
It's a public meeting. Thomas, it's a public meeting.
Oh. Sorry, Samantha.
He definitely looked more for the Marine.
Oh.
All right, gotcha. Him.
I put you on mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Tom, why does this,
need
you're
to know
confused.
who's who.
Why does it still say that I have an appointment? Didn't I ask y'all to, was this after?
Which one? Are you talking about Marine?
Yeah. Because you said that-
You have you need a replacement for Luz Ortiz, who has not been attending the meetings. That is why you have a vacancy on Marine.
So that's why I was giving it to Thomas.
What I brought up, though, I had was copied in on an email from Gregory Gallio.
So this was after this was published? Because then I wouldn't have because I said I wanted Gregory, so then I wouldn't have a vacancy there,
Right.
correct?
If you appointed Gregory, you would not have a vacancy.
Oh,
You'd
okay.
only have one.
Okay, so when I did it via email, it wasn't, I have to do it here.
We have to vote on it, don't we?
Got it. All right. So Gregory is mine. Thomas is Commissioner Brandemarty's. All right.
And then you had some for airport also?
I have no one for airport.
Okay.
I was trying to recruit.
Parks, Rec, and Community Affairs, Vice Mayor?
Do you think Samantha would want to be on Parks and Rec? Okay.
I have someone.
Tell her. Tell her to just tell her to email me, and we'll try and sort
Is
it
that
out.
Samantha? Is that Samantha? Oh, this is getting good.
Oh,
Thomas just kicked you
no,
off, girl.
Busted.
Yep.
Okay.
Sam, we'll talk later. Don't worry about it. So yes.
So ask her
Okay.
now. Does she want to
So-
serve on Parks and Rec? If not, I have someone that wanted to.
Samantha, do you have any interest in a Parks and Rec?
Meets on Tuesdays, the third Tuesday of the month? Full.
It's full, although how often do we check to see if somebody's not attending? Because that's one where they frequently have non-attendance.
They're supposed to notify us, aren't they, if they're
Yeah.
not attending? Yeah.
Or do you want airport?
Parks and Rec is good. I was on it.
All right, sold. Got it.
Okay. So.
Same address?
I think she has a different address.
All right, I make a motion to approve the appointments.
Is there a second?
No, right away, yes, before they change their mind.
So Commissioner Brandamati, are you seconding?
Oh, I second and third, yes.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Good. Okay. Administrative report, City Manager, Assistant City Manager.
One quick update. One of the last commission meetings, Commissioner Harris put forth a resolution which the commission supported, asking the Broward County to appropriate the 1 penny sales tax based on population. They decided not to do that. Some feedback that I've gotten so far. I just want to bring that update to you. But what the city managers have asked that they notify us of when these hearing meetings are, and we get the minutes for them so we can watch the progress of this oversight board.
Go ahead,
I believe that the county's meeting for the 4th amendment of the interlocal agreement, so some meetings have been postponed until the county gets their stuff together.
Oh, right. Okay, so there
Yeah.
may be developments on this?
Yeah, the
Okay,
MPO
good.
meets the day after tomorrow, so I'll be able to find out from Greg then. If we're going to just wait 48 more hours, I'll find out.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good news.
Fourth,
The last thing-
Fourth Amendment.
The fourth one. The last thing I want to just say thank you to the City Commission. It's been a pleasure working with you up here on the dais. So,
You're still
thank
here.
you.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you, Colin. City Attorney.
Nothing to add.
Okay. City Clerk?
Couple meeting reminders. Tuesday, March 26th at 7 p.m. is the City Commission meeting. And then your next CRA board meeting is April 9 at 5:30, followed by regular City Commission meeting at 7 p.m. The April 9th meeting in April is your only commission meeting, as you've canceled the April 23rd. Thank you.
We are adjourned.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks
Thank
for
you all
staying.
for staying.
Thank you very much.
Lori, you still want to go to the PEA even though it's going to be there, or do you want to start going when it's here? That's not until August. That's what I'm saying. They're not going to start until August.
You know what time it is? If you can say it on
Okay,
the
I'm going to ask her
paper.
to ask everybody.
Hi.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm adding new things back here. I win.
Yes. Thank you, thank you.
All right.
Don't forget to bring me back a souvenir.
From where? Italy?
Yeah. Put it right on the shelf.
I'm gone, Tony, I'm gone. Coming over for meatballs tomorrow night and salad. Oh, you're welcome, I'm so glad. And,